Okay, episode 15, we're going to talk about real estate investing. We love it. It's what we talk about. And then we're going to talk about building wealth and then some other random questions that other people have. So Brandon asked a question. He said, hey, if you were to restart today your real estate investing, what would you do? How would you do it? And like we had talked about in a previous episode, one, you really need to get to know the market. So go watch the episode about how to understand the real estate market. And then two, you need to build a massive lead generation machine that gets its business from anywhere between 3 to 5 sources. You can't just have one, you've got to have more than one. Just like a chair has, 4 legs, a good business in real estate investing would have at least 4 different sources. Next, you need to create a list of 1,000 local investors, what their contact information is, and what their buy box is. Now go back to your lead gen machine and turn it on. I don't care if that's direct mail, cold calling, text messaging, social media, podcasting like we're doing today, whatever it may be, you need to turn that on and make that rock and roll and get leads raining from the heavens. As your leads come in, you need to start filtering your leads based on their criteria, their timeline, and the amount of cash that is necessary. So you're going to hunt down these deals, and then you're essentially going to pre-vet them. You're going to figure out, like if it's a flipped, the as repaired value. You're going to figure out the rental rates. If it's a development project, you're going to figure out the yield. If it's a commercial building, you're going to figure out the cap rate. But do some homework and due diligence. Now go back to your investor list. And what we're going to do there with our investor list is we're going to go down and we're going to start shopping this out to our investor list. What you need to make when you're just getting started is money. You've got to make the money. Okay, so we need to make either real estate commissions, get your license, or go make wholesale fees. But we need cash coming in so we can afford to purchase the deals. Next, you're going to run into some investors that you know, like, love, and trust. They are the guys and gals that they buy multiple deals from you and they've got it going on. They actually know what they're doing. You need to say to them, hey, I will continue to bring you more deals. What I'd like in return is, would you teach me everything you know? And so what you're doing is we're doing an exchange of value here. I'm giving you a deal. You're explaining to me more of what's happening. They're going to teach you and give you years of experience. P.S. This personally made me tons and tons of money. You need to then also dig down another level with that investor. Get very specific about their buy box, their criteria, their goals, why they are doing it. If we understand why they are doing it, then now all of a sudden I have repeat customers. And this is a flywheel. And with 10 people, I could do 100, 200 deals. Now, of course, keep a large investor list available, but you need to sit there and just feed deal after deal after deal to the people who are going to actually purchase it, treat you well, and then explain what's happening. Once again, with the goal being to make a little piece of the pie, a wholesale fee, or a commission if you're a licensed real estate professional. So now I'm making money. Once I have some money, now I can make decisions about my money. I'd like you to create what we call the deal hierarchy. You need to get very rigid about your deal hierarchy. With the deal hierarchy is, 1, am I going to wholesale it? 2, am I going to hotel it? 3, am I going to develop this property? 4, can I flip this property? 5, can I hold it long term? 6, can I create debt on this property and make a great yield? 5, can I 7, can I partner with someone else on this one? I didn't give those to you in any specific order. You need to develop your own personal deal hierarchy, but you have to have more than 4 ways to deal with any deal that comes across your desk. If we don't have more than 4 ways, what happens then is we get deals and we don't know what to do with them. And that deal hierarchy is defined by metrics, in other words, numbers. And when the deal comes in, if it doesn't fit the numbers, I move right down the list. If it fits none of them, I get rid of it. Don't have the emotional attachment to the deal. Just let the numbers speak for themselves. A lot of us want to hold real estate. So this is item number 8. We want to hold it, but we need to be very careful on what we hold. Very careful on what we hold based on its returns, based on its neighborhood, based on the upside potential, based on the long-term viability. In real estate, I think as real estate investors, especially in the beginning, we get a little greedy. We get a little emotionally attached. And so we want to hold everything. It's not the wise, the smart way to do that, to just hold everything. Get very specific about what you're going to hold and why, and hold it accountable to making a specific rate of return. Otherwise, get rid of it. Okay, now I need you to go back to the beginning, which was step 2. Go back to making lots of lead generation. Increase your deal flow. Increase the number of opportunities. Increase the number of at-bats. If I have enough deal flow and I have enough at-bats, now I'm starting to make real money. And my real money can then start to increase my cash flow from holds or increase my reserves. Either one of them is going to serve you very well. The mistake, again, I think a lot of people make is they either let their reserves get too high in the beginning and they're not cycling their money enough, or all they do is sit there and bank on cash flow or appreciation or doing the development deal instead of really focusing on just get my return based on my deal hierarchy and get it done as fast as humanly possible. Bonus tip: things do not get better with time in real estate investing. If it's a problem up front and you can't solve the problem, or if it becomes a problem child, it will always be the problem child. That property is not going to just magically get better. The neighborhood's not going to improve. The municipality where we're doing the development project is not going to magically get nicer, okay? So one of the things that we always have to consider, even when we're making really good money, even when we've got a machine cranking, is, am I lying to myself here, and is this going to get easier? Or is it going to stay the same and be a problem child forever? Tyler asked a great question. He said, what is an underlying theme for building wealth? Like, how do we focus on building wealth? And so I wrote some simple tips out here, and I'm gonna read some of these, and we're just gonna kind of go through them together. Success or greatness is simply achieved by making small, consistent, incremental improvements sustained over a long period of time. So if you're someone that wants to build wealth, you want to change the direction of your family, you want to create a legacy, this is not going to happen overnight. That's number one. You got to realize that building massive wealth and creating something that survives you, that moves into the next generation, is more about building a system, a model, and working that system and model and making it so that it's simple enough that it could be taught to the next generation, that other people can run it for you. Because if you are the only person that can execute the thing that's building massive wealth, you will never get to the level that you could get to. As we're building wealth, everything has to be scalable. It has to be sustainable. It has to be repeatable. It has to be teachable. If it doesn't match that criteria, we won't be able to keep it going long term. And what will happen is it will go up, it will hit a ceiling. It'll just smash against that ceiling and then it will fall down from there. That wasn't a real process. That was the market making things look better than they are. That was getting lucky on a deal. It's okay if your first one doesn't work, or the second, or the third. Just keep repeating the process and keep going after it. Also, I really want you to be thinking about, if your goal is to build massive wealth, compound interest. It's one of those just amazing gifts. I want you to think, how can I get the money out there and keep it deployed as long as possible and have the least amount of interruptions happen possible? See, the problem is when we make a little money on a duplex and then we're selling the duplex, well, sometimes there's this emotion in us where maybe I want to take a little off the table and I want to go buy that Subaru STI so I can go rally drift it around my man. Or I want to buy that new toy, or I want to buy a boat, or maybe I want to get a bigger house for my family. All of that's good stuff, and I want you to get it all. But I don't want you to interrupt your investments and interrupt a win in order to get that. If that's our goal, I want you to take some of the cash flow to buy it. But see, understand that time will make you look like a genius. So the longer that the time is going and the money is deployed uninterrupted without anything taking anything off the table, the further you will go. Simply go look at it like an IRA graph, okay? And you type in, Dave Ramsey's got one of those good calculators right on his website. You type in, a certain amount of money you're starting with, $6,000 in your IRA, and you put $500 a month and you make 8%. And you look at it, and over like a 10, 20-year run, it's just flat. And then all of a sudden it starts to go vertical. The same thing applies in our real estate investing. Is that first decade, it's not going to feel like it's moving anywhere. And what's going to happen is in that second decade is where everything's going to go vertical. So don't interrupt it. That is the mistake. What am I trying to do? You have to get really clear about how you're going to build wealth. Now you say, hey, Anton, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I haven't learned that yet. Well, you're going to have to go try some things. You're going to have to try wholesaling, buying a single family property, flipping a house, doing an Airbnb, doing a midterm rental, whatever it may be. You may have to try a few things, but once something starts working, you can't be the jack of all trades and the master of none. You've got to go deep into one of these items. So the mistake all of us make is we get all excited. We sit down, we watch 400 TikToks, 500 YouTube videos, and we're all excited. We want to go do all these ideas. You need to pick one idea that you're going to execute really well. And instead of going wide, I need you to go deep. And I need you to go deep into that field where you know more than anyone else. And you got to get real specific about your goal. See, wealth means different things to different people. Last night, I was talking with one of my friends, and I said to him, who would you rather be? Would you rather be Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, or would you rather be Tom, the guy from MySpace? And he goes, what happened to Tom? I said, almost no one knows what happened to Tom. Tom sold MySpace for a big bag of money, and then he ran away into the sunset with his money, which is way less than what Mark Zuckerberg has, but appears from the outside he's had more fun. He's not hated. Mark Zuckerberg just posted his Murph time on social media. Okay? I was like, whoa, that's a kind of an unbelievable time. My first thought, I was like, you know what? Let's go read the comments. All of the comments, hate, 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 hate. So once again, would you rather be the billionaire or the millionaire and have more fun and have less hate? It's different for each one of us. You've got to decide what wealth means to you, because wealth to me means freedom, time with my family, time to give back to the community, and to be able to leave a legacy that outlasts me. Yes, it does have quite a few zeros and commas in regards to that number, but that number isn't as important as what the money will actually do. I want you to go find a coach or a mentor. Now, this coach or this mentor, not to bag on most people on the internet, but most are not worth a lot of money, even though they're teaching you how to do it. Go find a coach or a mentor who's done it before, who understands how to do it, and they can prove to you they're actually worth money. Then follow their system, copy their model, do what they've done. Ask them questions about, hey, if you had to do it all over again, what would you do? What was the biggest mistake you made? What did you learn along the journey? What do you wish you would have done sooner? One of the things that really interrupts your wealth creation is fees and taxes. So I sell real estate. I'm a real estate broker. I'm going to be blunt with you. It's expensive to sell real estate. It kind of pisses me off every time I have to sell it because the commissions are expensive. So that's a fee coming out of my profit. How do I leave it there uninterrupted? See, one of the things a lot of people don't think about when they put money into a mutual fund is, what's the fee coming off the front? I don't want fees on the front. I want fees on the winnings. I need my money to keep going longer uninterrupted, because a fee on the front takes more of my ability to win away. If you don't believe me, open an Excel doc, put in $100,000, take a 5% fee off the front, run it at 10% over 10 years and see what happens. Do the same thing in reverse. Run it at 10% over 10 years and take a 5% fee off the back end and see which one wins. You will be amazed at which one wins. 10 years may not be enough. Run it for 20. Run it for 30. I want you to learn the math. Okay. The next one, this is the killer, taxes. You need to do everything you can to limit the amount of taxes you pay. That may be in real estate investing, things like 1031 exchanges, the Augusta rule, cost segregation, okay? Buying in opportunity zones, a qualified opportunity fund, whatever it may be. Selling something on a note so I don't have to take the taxes all up front and I get to take the taxes over time. You need to find an amazing tax strategist and an amazing accountant who's going to help you with that. and you need to lower your tax bill. If I lower my tax bill, I have more investable income. I can keep the money rolling longer. Last but not least, I need you to simply fall in love with the game and be willing to do what it takes. See, everyone says that they want to be free and they want to go on this epic journey and they want to find themselves. The reality is most people won't find themselves unless they actually get started. We all want to know the destination, but we don't want to get on the journey. Get on the journey to wealth creation and you will find the person you're supposed to be on that journey. You will figure out the legacy you're supposed to leave. You don't have to have it all figured out up front. I need you to fall in love to the point of obsession, where you're thinking about this all the time. You see, all I think about all the time is business, real estate investing, land development, over and over and over again. This is my sports. I can't tell you if the Mariners beat the Yankees the other day. I have no idea. Do I like sports? Absolutely. Do I work out a bunch? Yes. Do I spend time with my family? Yes. But my obsession, what keeps my brain, the little ADD squirrels on that hamster wheel spinning, is this business of real estate and real estate investing. You need to become wildly passionate about your subject. And you may not start that way. So please understand that as you get on this journey, as you get better at real estate investing and you get some wins, you get some confidence, you killed it on that land development, what happens is your passion will naturally grow for the subject matter that you're working in. That's okay. That's normal. I don't think I started out this crazy. I became more crazy the more I won playing this game. This is helpful. Hey, subscribe, comment, we love all that. Last but not least, our question for today was, and this is just going back to the banking crisis. I personally felt like we're already through it, but it's apparently still in other people's mind. What's happening with banking right now? Another friend said, if you had over $1 million, would you keep it in one bank? And the natural answer there is no. But strategically, there is a way to do it. So I'm going to share with you how you can do this just so you understand and we're all on the same page. So we're going to put a link to this in the comments, but the FDIC insurance insures up to $250,000 of deposit insurance. And this is a question right off of the FDIC's website. Can I have more than $250,000 of deposit insurance at one FDIC insured bank? And the FDIC answers, yes, you can. The FDIC insures deposits according to the ownership category, keywords, in which the funds are insured and how the accounts are titled. The standard deposit ownership coverage limit is $250,000 per depositor, per insured bank, per ownership category. Okay, Anton, what's all that crap mean? A joint account with your significant other. Boom, I'm up to $500. An account for one of my kids. Boom, we're up even more. An account for an LLC. Boom, we're up even more. An account for your family trust. Boom, you're up even more. There are games that you can play to have over $1 million FDIC insured. Okay, that's probably the most convenient one. Here's another one. You could have multiple bank accounts at multiple different entities. Now realize there are bank accounts that have charters where they're connected to other entities. You could be a part of one charter and have your money available to you at all one time and still have it in 6 different banks. So there's always a way to diversify your risk and gain that maximum protection. Now, personally, a lot of people don't have over $1 million in deposits, so it's not a big deal to them. However, this was asked by a high net worth individual who does have over $1 million in deposits. I told him, you know what, I'll go figure it out for you so I can help you out and make sure you're protected. Lastly, if you're sitting on tons of cash, like this particular individual is, you're probably not winning today. See, when inflation is 5-6%. Now remember, this is CPI inflation, and all of us are feeling a higher number than that. And if your money is not making more than 6, you're losing money. So what I'd like you to do in times like this, keep 6 to 12 months at a minimum. In a stress time, let's kick it up to 12 months worth of reserves. But above 12 months, let's put in a money market account. Let's go buy a U.S. Treasury. Let's go buy another piece of real estate. But let's do something to keep that cash flow cycling and moving. So, thank you for watching and hanging out with us today. I hope all of you learned something. Feel free to connect with us any way possible, and we're happy to chat more.